So right on schedule then, the DRS100s, their A group, the first group of our junior category. Remember, you can tune in live to us via our live streams on YouTube and on our Facebook page as well. Feel free to comment and show your support for
Grids are on.
Those drivers, and to ask us any questions here in the commentary booth. The DRS100s then for the Prix Grand Prix. Callum Gunning, the class of the field so far, it has to be said. Dylan Reed alongside him. Joe Sheppy and Alicia Palmovsky on row 2. George Whitehouse and Samuel Cunliffe looking to recover some championship points on the outside of row 3. Cody Eustace and William Vincent start on row 4. Row 5 is Luke Wildgoose and Daniel Holdsworth, with Bryn Calder and Lily Jeffs on row 6. Charlie Humphreys and Millie Hart on row 7. And Rowan Campbell-Pilling will be the 15th and last driver to start this Prix Grand Prix for the DRS100 junior class. The A group, the B group will follow this race. So they've completed one of 2 formation laps. Remember, Gunning is championship leader. He's got some 23-24 point advantage over Samuel Cunliffe. He will have extended that by being the fastest man in qualifying and the fastest man in the leading man in the first heat earlier on today. So Cunliffe needs a response here from a championship perspective. He starts on the outside of the 3rd row. Gunning, Reed, Sheppy, Palmovsky, Whitehouse and Cunliffe. They are your top 6. They're through the hairpin and they're coming on to start finish now. They're very, very slow. Callum Gunning then controlling the pace. Has from the outside, Gunning managed to get into the first corner first. It looked initially as if Dylan Reed had managed to get the drop as they went over start finish, but he hasn't managed to find a way through, and they drop down now for the very first time into the Surtees corner. And Callum Gunning has done, as he's done most of the day really, an excellent job at getting out front first. He's already got himself 5 or 6 kart lengths advantage over Dylan Reed. Now Reed really needs to push now to stop Callum Gunning on getting away at the front of the field. He really needs to push and find a way to get back on terms as quickly as he can, or the danger is that once Callum Gunning has got that sort of advantage at the front of the field, he's very difficult to get onto the back of and get on terms with. Indeed, he took over a second out of Dylan Reed on that first lap. Joe Sheppy is 3rd. Sam Cunliffe, good start for him. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Sam Cunliffe. He's up into 4th. Whitehouse behind him in 5th. The driver that lost out on those initial laps was Alicia Palmovsky. So Palmovsky all the way back to 15th place. So obviously involved in an incident somewhere around the circuit in that opening lap. And Alicia Palmovsky has a lot of work to do. Now the danger now is if she may find herself not in the main Grand Prix final, if she can't make up some of these places, because it's not all the drivers that get into the main Grand Prix. So Palmovsky has got a recovery job to do. She's got 7 seconds or so distance to recover. Still got plenty of time to do it though. 6 minutes plus that one final lap still left to go. The race leader then has a 1 second advantage. Now has Dylan Reed managed just to stem the flow a little bit? He only gave 0.2 of a second up in that last lap. So the number 7 of Dylan Reed just only gave a little bit of time up last time round. The gap is a second between the two of them. It's a further second back to Joe Sheppy in 3rd place. As they come back to us, I wonder if Sheppy's just starting to get on terms with Reed in 2nd. They cross start finish once more. The gap then, there's a battle further back involving Cunliffe, and there's some contact as well involving Cunliffe and involving Whitehouse as they went over start finish last time round. I think Whitehouse has dropped a couple of places as well, as Cunliffe was desperate not to lose that position as they went over start finish. There was a little bit between the two of them. Cunliffe has held on to 4th place, but Whitehouse has dropped down behind the 1-2-6 of William Vincent and Cody Eustace as well. So battles all the way through this field, but the leader, no change there. You're looking at 4th place, Sam Cunliffe. He's got the 1:26 now of William Vincent in behind him as the leader comes below us to complete another lap, and it's very comfortable indeed, it has to be said, for Callum Gunning at the moment. Reid is in second, 1.9 seconds already. We've only had 4 laps and there's contact between 2 or 3 of the drivers in the midfield as they go through. It involves the likes of, I think it's the likes of Eustace, is it? Is it Cody Eustace? So it is that battle involving Whitehouse and Vincent and Eustace and Holdsworth all tripping over each other. It's probably played into the hands of Sam Cunliffe, I think. He's just got himself a bit of breathing space in 4th place. There is the number 6 of Sam Cunliffe. He's got a big gap between himself and Joe Sheppy in 3rd place. So he's got to now try and get after. Let's have a look at what he's doing in terms of lap time. So Cunliffe, last time round, did a 45.9. So compare that to the race leader. He's half a second a lap slower than Callum Gunning at the moment. So just keep an eye on driver lap times as we look at Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Remember, he started right at the back of the field. Campbell-Pilling all the way up to 8th place at the moment. And doing a good job at cutting through, slicing through this DRS100 Prix Grand Prix A group. So Gunning, Reid, Sheppy, front 3. And there is 4th place, Cunliffe. Behind him is George Whitehouse. Now, they were the 2 involved in the incident earlier on. So I would imagine that George Whitehouse will have the bit between his teeth and be very, very keen to get on terms with Samuel Cunliffe, young man from Darwin in Lancashire, 15 years old. 4th place on the road at the moment. George Whitehouse behind him in 5th. They're going through the right-hander at Chandler's up this short straight. Oh, very wide from Whitehouse. You can see how hard he's pushing to try and get back on terms with Cunliffe. The leaders are already through the Raymond's hairpin and have started to complete another lap. And good, fair play to Dylan Reid as well, because he came under some pressure from Joe Sheppy 3 or 4 laps ago, but he's managed just to push a bit more of an advantage away from 3rd place Sheppy, and that gap is now just about a second between 2nd and 3rd on the road. The gap between Gunning and Reid, 2.9 seconds. So again, unless we're going to see some sort of technical problem for Callum Gunning, or he's going to make an almighty mistake, he is looking very comfortable indeed with 2 minutes plus that 1 final lap to go here. And here is that battle for 4th and 5th. Cunliffe and Whitehouse. Whitehouse now onto the back of Sam Cunliffe and tries to go down the side. A little bit of contact. Cunliffe goes over the grass and spins. Now, how will the officials see that? Looked pretty close. He was certainly down the inside, so I'm not sure. Maybe an opportunity for Cunliffe to relinquish the place. He decided not to. And there was contact between the 2 of them. So Cunliffe is going to give up more championship points here. 2nd in the championship at the moment. And Callum Gunning, comfortable at the front of the field, will be enjoying this. Here's the replay. Oh, he's all the way down the inside, isn't he? All the way down the inside is George Whitehouse. So I'm not sure that Sam Cunliffe can have any complaints, really. It was a good late braking manoeuvre, and Cunliffe's under all kinds of pressure from other people now at the moment as well. In fact, he's under pressure from Robert Campbell-Pilling. So Pilling up to 7th. What a drive from Robert Campbell-Pilling from the back of the field. His next target is Sam Cunliffe. And he is all over the back of that Daniel Ricciardo car, trying to find a way through. Bear in mind that Cunliffe had to go over the grass and the rumble strips and the marbles, and he will have to clean those tyres up. It might take him a lap or 2 just to get back to full racing speed. And while he is hampered, while he's got that handicap, Campbell-Pilling wants to try and find a way through. They go through the Dell hairpin, head down towards the Raymond's hairpin, and to complete another lap. They're just going to have 2 more to go then. So by the time Callum Gunning comes past, he will start his last lap. He's currently on his way up through the Del chicane. He flicks right, left, right, and heads out over the rumble strip. Smooth as you like. And into Raymond's once more. Here is our race leader from Herne Bay, 15 years old, and he's been fairly flawless so far. It will be interesting when he comes into the main Grand Prix final, because he hasn't had to encounter the likes of Harry Graham and Thomas Harvey and Nicky Taylor. He hasn't had Thomas Davidson. He hasn't had to come across those guys yet. The first time he's going to see them will be in the Grand Prix final. So whilst he's had it all his own way so far, Callum Gunning, the main Grand Prix final may just offer a slightly different challenge with some slightly different personnel. And they'll certainly be keen to upset the floor of the class of the field so far. Callum Gunning rounds the last corner to complete his second win of the day. He was fastest in qualifying. He won the first heat. He's won the Prix Grand Prix, the first Prix Grand Prix for the DRS100. Second place, Dylan Reed, a rather distant 4 seconds in the end, but he's done a good job at keeping George Shepard behind. George Whitehouse was 4th, and 5th place, Daniel Holdsworth. Sam Cunliffe recovered back into 6th. Super drive from Rowan Campbell-Pilling. And Alicia Palmovsky, don't forget that she dropped to the back of the field early on as well. So a great recovery drive from Palmovsky, who came home in 8th place.